Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. Today we are here to do a page spread in this junk journal that I have made, and this is all a prompt by WillowBoundJournals. She reached out to a variety of different channels on YouTube and pages on Instagram, and she has compiled a list of words for the whole month of August, and she asked each creator to pick a word that coincides with the date, and that is the day that you will be doing your page spread. Now, her purpose was to show how everybody has a different way to do keepsakes, and everyone has a different way of their journaling and the process, and everything is like all totally different. I will link to WillowBoundJournals, which is Juni, in the description box below, and then you can check out her video, and also you can check out all of the videos and the Instagram posts that everyone else involved in this process has done. So if you guys remember, I made this junk journal a while back. I do believe I did do a video on this. So this book was made completely, all of the pages, the base of the pages in this book is all completely junk mail, whether it's envelopes or pages from the junk mail. And then what I did was I went through my scrap bin and I layered on some of the scraps so that some of my pages would be pre-prepped for when I get to that page. Now, what I did decide to do in this book is, since it is junk mail, I thought that it would be more conducive to the process if I glued the pages together in certain areas, because it strengthens the pages. And sometimes I do like wet mixed media or paint and things like that, and it's just not strong enough. So gluing the pages together was the answer for me in this book. So I'm going to be using this book today. We're going to land on this page here. So I'm going to go ahead and clip this open so that we can make sure we're going to stay right here. And then creativity. Now my word of the day is creativity. So I think I've been thinking about this, and I feel like a lot of people think creativity is the end result of what you have. So when you make something, you have a project, you're making a book, you're making a tag, you're making a page spread like we're going to do today, and you look at the end result and you say, is this creative or not? And to me personally, I don't think that's not the line of thinking that I take. I think that creativity starts with an idea or a feeling. And so creativity begins before you even start. And so I have this box of awesome stuff that people have sent over to me over the years, and I need to use some of this stuff, and I'm going to be using this stuff just, you know, sight unseen. I haven't gone through this. I don't really know what all is in here, but I want to pull from this little box and create a page spread on this journal. And we'll just see what we come up with. Now, in this journal, I do know that I wanted to keep most of my page spreads flat because of the style of the book. It's already kind of like full. It's meant to be more like an art journal. So you can see there is a little bit of leeway for some expansion, but I don't want it to get too crazy. So I'm going to be pulling from here. I don't know what's in here, but I also think that that could be something that invokes creativity, just not knowing what's there and making something of it. Because I think I know a lot of times I like to create by pulling out all of the supplies that I need for a particular project. That's like one of my favorite things to do, and I do that for a separate reason. But I think when you're also stuck, or if you don't know what your creative style is, or if you're watching someone else and you're like, hey, I like what they do, I think this is a good way to get started. So we're going to be pulling from here to make a page spread here based on the word creativity, but also we are going to be implementing creativity because we're working with supplies that we don't even know what they are. So let's go ahead and get started. I see some sewing pattern. So I like this. I like it indeed. One thing that I often say is if you don't think about it too much, you'll have a great result. And I know that I have done a lot of videos and a lot of live videos where I just put stuff down and we run with that. And I think everything also doesn't have to be delicate. It can just be made out of something, what you've got. Like I said, this is all junk mail. Or it can just be created within based on how you feel. So, all right, so that's a good little background going. I also have a stamp here that I grabbed. So I'm gonna grab this and give our background a little bit more dimension. So as you can see, the page is already starting to get a lot of dimension to it because of these little few things that we've added so far. I'm gonna set the sewing paper out because I know that I've already used that supply. So I found this little bag of lace, and I think what I'll do is pick one of these and just take a snippet off. And then maybe one smaller snippet because for me, my creativity is about balance. It always has been, probably always will be. So definitely want to give a big thank you to Juni for putting this together. The other participants in this have been doing some great things. There was a lot, you know, to see before my day has arrived. So kudos to those gals. And I think I am going to actually cut this into, I want to cut it lengthwise, I think. Yeah, that's better, because then we've got a little bit more wiggle room. So glue it down. I love this glue because it dries really, really fast and you don't have a lot of wait time. And let's see, I've got one more piece. This is becoming the trilogy, right? The trilogy that we all know and love. The rule of 3. Okay, here we go. And I like when the pages cross over like that, so totally cool. Perfect. So here's how our background is looking so far, and I've just pulled out 2 supplies from this box of goodies that my crafty friends have sent to me. I also spy some random little scraps that I've painted on in the past. So I think I'm gonna glue some of these scraps down. I will use the Fabri-Tac only because it's gonna be crossing over this piece of lace here. There's a whole bunch of great words, and it's nice to see everyone's take and interpretation on all the different words that are out there, the words that they selected, because she did leave it open for us to pick what we wanted to, you know, to use. So it's nice to see what people chose and what they did with their selections. Perfect. I think a nice little tear of this would be pretty cool in here. So, because it kind of ties in with the colors that we've got going on. So I'm gonna tear it like this. I'm going to take a little bit of my heavy gesso, and I just want to do not dry, sorry, I said bry, but I meant dry, but I don't think I'm going to do dry because I want it to be a little heavier than what a dry brush would do. So I'm just going to take my brush into the gesso and do some random little swipes of the gesso. think we've got a good amount of gesso there. It's nicely coated. And I'm gonna set the gesso aside and give this a second to dry, and we'll be right back. All right, so the background is all dried. So what I've gone to do is I pulled the sticker book that I have. Now, if you don't have a sticker book, no need to fret. Like I said, it's all about working within what you have. If you don't have a sticker book, you may have a book that you've been cutting out of for images and stuff like that. Please feel free to use a book page or something out of an old book that's falling apart and use your focal image as that. Right off the bat, I see some flowers here. These are tsunami rose flowers. I'm gonna pull that pink one out since, like I said, we are kind of leaning towards a little bit more of a shabby chic theme. And I see a rose, or maybe that's not a rose, but I'm gonna pull that one out. So we've got those two, which is perfect. And then we've got some people here, but I don't know if I want to use the people or maybe something out of the sticker book. I really need to find a main focal image, and I think for that I'm gonna try looking into this book, because this sticker book has some nice big images, and if I strike out here, then I may actually just also turn to a book and see what kind of images I can cut out of the book. Now this peacock here stands out to me. The colors and the vibe, kind of now the page with this peacock to me starts going into a little bit more of a shabby chic / Art Nouveau direction. So I think we're gonna put this peacock somewhere here on this page. That's what we're gonna do. And since it's gonna be our focal, I want it to go somewhere that's like right there, maybe. Here. Here. I think here is good. So here we go. And boom. Look how cool that looks. Now we do have our flowers that we also pulled out, and this is starting to shape up. So I kind of like the way this is looking. And I think from here, what we're gonna need is a quote. And then I think this page spread is gonna be done. All right, so I asked my sister to find a quote, and she found one by Steve Jobs that says, creativity is just connecting things. And I think that is true. So that is going to be the quote that we put on this page. I've just grabbed a couple of my markers, and I'm going to get that written out, and then we'll find a place to add it onto the page. All right, so there we have it. I think we are all set with this one. This is my creativity page layout in my junk journal. And I want to give a big thanks again to Juni for asking me to join along as a part of this. Thank you all for joining to watch this, whether you're new here or you've already been here for a while. I hope that you guys are working and creating in your own books, and you can see how easy it is. And with everyone that's participating in this, you can also see a variety of different ways that you can create too. So I think that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned, because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.